We are live. Late again. I think you are incorrect. Please, comment. Can you guys see and hear me? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm trying to get adjusted here, you guys. I got a new phone recently, and, so this might take a minute. I'm sorry. That looks like it should be good. And yeah, I'm sure this started at like 2:31 instead of 2:30, but I don't care. I'm counting this as being on time. I know this isn't the most exciting thing at the moment. Just please give me a minute to kind of get everything going, because I did not your posts and stuff. Oh dang! So there's been a good bit of chatter going. Someone called Defense of Bay Prime the best video on the internet regarding Bay Prime. That makes me feel very good. Dang, you guys did talk a decent bit before it really got started. He's back. He's alive. Talon Productions is here. Hello, Eric M. Kind of tough. Favorite figure? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't know. It's really hard to me for me to narrow down just one favorite. You know. First ever live stream I did. Apparently, people are having issues with the stream. Hold on, let me grab my phone here. You being. Hold on. Well, guys, I'm going to go and come back and see if this helps at all. So I'm not sure. Oh, I didn't have issues before. Then again, let me see. I am connected to internet and whatnot. I don't really know what the issue would be. So yeah, this is a little odd to me. But it seems to be going okay now. So, let me see if I can get this set back up on, because, quick check-in. Can you guys see everything and hear me? Of course, there's always got to be something, whether it's a late start or this. Okay, you guys are saying yes, so awesome. Well, hey, since I got the camera pointed over here, I'll show off the figures I have displayed today. Of course, there is '07 Protoform Prime. Very fun. I have I got two sets each of these guys. The APC Viacons. This is the Jet Viacon and the regular, car one. The Jet ones come with the really cool, damn it, is it the Miner head? I think it is. And, I really like those. I have a ton of Viacons from Prime. This is Bumblebee from Prime. I did Prime a lot this week. This is the Iron Warrior. I forget what its like third party name is, but that's the company is Iron Warrior. He's basically like the 3-0 DLX guys. It doesn't transform, but it is highly accurate. He also has, come here, Magnet. No? No? There we go. His eyes kind of light up his whole head, though. It kind of reminds me of like a, I don't know, like a jack-o'-lantern or something, but still looks neat. Of course, there is YOLO Park Megatron, and he is actually holding a Bayverse Spark accessory that guy named Drifts Tech made. He's on eBay and Etsy. He does a lot of accessories for figures, and this was one where it was based on one of the Sparks that we see in Bayverse. Honestly, I think it's based on Ratchets, but yeah, YOLO Park Megatron. Then this is excuse me. I don't remember its third-party name again, but this is Bumblebee Movie Optimus. It's the Cyber Era version, and what this did was it took the MPM, what was it, 12 Optimus Prime, who I liked that base figure, but he was pretty flawed, and it took that and just did a whole bunch to it and made it about the best that it can be. It's a pretty cool figure, and if you've experienced MPM 12, it's pretty cool. I do like him a lot. Then this is the oversized Unique Toys Galvatron. I think it's called Fury Leader with an upgrade head, and I am actually very excited to show this off to you guys because, like, the just how accurate it is insane. And then we get, come on, Magnet. So we get those lights for the eyes, but then we get, come on, you can work. There we go. The inside of the head lights up blue. Then let's see, let's get the fade in. Oh, so the eyes just shut off. All right. But that might kind of help show off the blue and stuff more. I love this thing. It is so freaking cool. Well worth the purchase, in my opinion. And then, last but not least here, we have Scourge from Rise of the Beast. This is the YOLO Park one that was the subject of my last live stream. And yeah. But, so that's them. Just kind of a mix of stuff that I wanted to show, and then like new stuff that I thought could be kind of cool. Well, or at least new for me in terms of getting it. So, but give me just a minute. I'm gonna set this back up, then I will get back to trying to answer questions and whatnot. Because again, this is just a hangout and chill. We can do whatever. I would say, like, if you want to do the hot take stuff, maybe save those. But everything else should be pretty good to go. So bear with me while I get this back on the tripod. And I might have to get a new stand or something for the phone, because I wonder if it being attached was the thing that was causing it to kind of goof a little bit ago. So we shall see. But I think that might have been user error slightly, because I'm pretty sure I had it attached to like, or it was pressing down on a button. But we'll see. And hey, I'm checking the top fans right now. Hob Channel, you are the top fan, with number 2 being Jay Ross and number 3 being Arctic Warrior. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get that back down. And let me get this in a decent little spot. Right now, the visuals aren't going to be super exciting because I'm just going to kind of be reading. No, the chair hit the tripod. Another time honored tradition. Bro, can you like not? Why can't things ever just go smoothly for me when I start doing these? Hold on. One of my cats is being fucky now. Damn, bro. Sorry about that. Can't leave stuff alone. I hate it. Love them, but stuff like that can be annoying. Alright, finally. So I will be backtracking here a little bit so I can check out the, stuff going on here. So let me see. Let me find where people were saying it's, good. Talon is back. I knew you'd update. Never die. I love the Transformer quotes. It's great. Mr. Leader of the Free Galaxy is back. Favorite MonsterVerse human protagonist? Oh man, that's a good question. If I'm being honest, I actually really liked Ford from the 2014 movie. I know that's unpopular because he is kind of a blank slate of a character, but I enjoyed him. I mean, there's not one that I've really disliked, though. Like, also, I do not remember his name, if I'm being 100% honest here. But I like the dude from King of the Monsters. You know, everyone from, like, Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla X Kong are good. Skull Island. I do like the cast in Skull Island a good bit. J. Ross said, I got Byway, Dark of the Moon Prime. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Eric M., I have so many unpopular opinions, I would piss off every single fandom. Oh, shit. Alright, there's you guys saying everything's better. Cyberlight says, hey Talon, I'm thinking of writing a crossover fanfic between the Bayverse and Monsterverse. What ideas should I include? I definitely think, I made a video on this a few years ago, but depending on like how you do the timeline, I guess, you should definitely touch on how Galvatron and Mechagodzilla are so similar. I just think that could be a fun little thing to do. Hobtown Galvatron looks so sick. Dude, this thing is so freaking cool. He's huge, too. Let me bring him down here. Come here, Galvatron. You know, I designed Galvatron to look like Optimus Prime. Or I modeled Galvatron after Optimus Prime. Why does he keep looking like Megatron? J. Ross, I'm getting Byway. Oh, the white and blue one. I have that one. I have one of the Byways for, of course, Optimus. I forget which one it is because they did so many. I want to say it was like the V3. Then I got the classic Nemesis Primes, like the black and teal. I did that one, and then I also have the white and blue, which are very cool. I also have the white and blue KO of the MPM Prime. Let me get his lights on again. It's just, this thing looks so freaking cool, dude. I love this upgrade head. Let's see. Not gonna lie, I wish Lugnut, Blitzwing, and Astro Train were in the Bayverse. Yeah, they definitely would have been cool. Wish Slipstream was in the Bayverse. Hell, I'd like to see Slipstream in, like, anything. Because she just, like, does not pop up a whole lot, and it sucks. Especially that War for Cybertron design from the game. I love that Slipstream. Eric M. is the first time that I am not in the top 3 during a Talon Productions live. Oh shit, really? I love AoE Galvatron, such a cool design. AoE Shadow Raider. Damn, my stutter came out there a little bit. Yeah, I like Galvatron. He's one I admit I did have to warm up to a little bit, because there was a while kind of over the years where I sort of fell into the like, nah, Galvatron sucks, he's not cool. He could have been better, but I really like this design a lot. It has warmed up to me a lot, especially thanks to figures like this, and of course the original Unique Toys Nero. I will always champion that figure. It's so freaking good. Which do you prefer, Megatron and Galvatron being the same or two different bots? I guess it kind of depends on like the version. Overall, I do prefer them probably being separate because like I like the way it was in G1 where it felt like a genuine like upgrade, and but then you get stuff like pretty much RID-01 through all of the Unicron trilogy of like, oh look, Megatron has a different color scheme now, he's Galvatron. It's supposedly an upgrade. Sometimes it is, but mostly it just feels like, again, it's just like the to sell toys thing. It's like, oh look, he's like purple now, or has some sort of purple, so he's Galvatron. I do like how the movie did it too, where it is a like a human-made name. I don't know. But I do kind of like how, because I know that mainly comes from the IDW comics of Megatron and Galvatron are separate. Hold on, I'm trying to see where the chat is. The thing went kind of weird for a second. Breakaway should have been the Revenge of the Fallen movie. Test 69 Spartan. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him in there. The name brand company says hello, and hello. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Love Gun says hello. I hope I'm not late. Maybe a tad, but if I'm being honest, I guess you haven't missed too much. Just me showing off figures and, Alrighty. God damn it. Triton. Yo, sorry I'm late sorting out my inventory in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Took half an hour longer than expected. Hey man, it happens. Oh, let's see. Triton. Also, gotta say, the more I see of that Galvatron, the more I genuinely really like it. Yeah, like I said, this is the oversized KO version of the Unique Toys Nero. It's called like Fury Leader FL01 with an upgrade head. Now, I also did a little bit of custom painting on it. Not a ton, just like just little details here and there. Like bits on the chest and just throughout everything. Not sure if there's a specific part to highlight, but there's some dark little squares in his feet that I did, some gold in here. I'm pretty sure I did like the copper-ish stuff there, and then a lot of that through there. Yeah. But, yeah, this head, I do, because his eyes are more of an orange, so I do wish they had the more, like, accurate red. But, it's not that big a deal. So I know there's a lot of promo stuff, and I think even the original toy that had them as orange. And if I remember correctly, too, I remember reading there are some scenes in the movie where his eyes are still orange for, one reason or another. But, yeah. Then, was it Eno? First of all, hello, asked, have you read the Bayverse comics? If so, which one is your favorite? Yes, I have read all of the IDW Bayverse comics. My favorite, I have a bit of nostalgia for it because it's the first one I read, but, well, the second one, I read the first movie prequel that was literally just called movie prequel first. I really liked the Reign of Starscream. They're, Reign of Starscream stands out, as well as Foundation. Most issues of Tales of the Fallen, specifically the RC issue and the Jetfire and Fallen issues. Defiance I like a lot. Oh, so they do go out on their own after a while. That's good. That's good to know. But I like all. Well, I mostly like all of them. The only one I'm not a fan of, my boy Jahoob the Great isn't here to, argue against me, is Nefarious. I've just never cared for it. I don't think it's done very well. I don't think the art's very good. Not a fan of that one. But everything else I like. Love Gun says Joshua's crashed out about Galvatron's design is relatable. Yeah, as an artist, yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. How do you feel about Skybound Animation G.I. Joe X Transformers adult animation series? I am fairly indifferent to it. I think it's I guess it's neat because I still haven't read the Skybound comics despite having an individual issue 1 and having the three, as of right now, released trades. I just haven't read them. I'm lazy. I'm lazy as hell. Um, but from what I've heard, it's very good. I'm very interested to read it when I do. Yeah. So like, it's not. It definitely doesn't sound bad or anything to me. See, my favorite villain in all of fiction is Unicron Trilogy Megatron. He's so evil. Dude, I love Unicron Trilogy Megatron, specifically Armada. I always thought that was such a cool storyline to have him, like, be depressed that his opponent is gone, you know? I don't know, that was just such a neat take. And just in general, I like him. Plus, there's some, I guess you could say, nostalgia bias for me because... You know, Armada is the Transformer series I grew up on, and Armada Megatron was my first toy from that line. And it's the first Transformer toy I really remember having. Because I have, like, vague memories of having some other toys, specifically Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Megatron, the Dragon one. But yeah, for me, Armada Megatron's my first Transformer that at least I, like, really remember. So that version's very nostalgic for me. Cyberlight says, one idea I had for my crossover fanfic is that I would have it be set after the events of Age of Extinction and prior to King of the Monsters. Okay. I would sort of combine the plots of Last Night and King of the Monsters into one. That's interesting. Huh. I think that could work out pretty well, though. Yeah, good luck with it. I think the twist that Galvatron as Megatron would have been more surprising if he had looked more like Optimus in the movie, like in the concept art. That could have been neat. I do like that one concept art version where it does straight up have like an Optimus head. I do dig that one a good bit. What the? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there was a rumble just now, and it's the neighbor with their big fucking truck. I hate it. I like the idea of Galvatron and Megatron being the same person, just different bodies, like Greed and Full Metal Alchemist, when where there were two of them, but they were the same guy, just different bodies. Yeah, that could be an interesting take. Maybe kind of like the RC sisters in Revenge of the Fallen. Obviously, the comics and stuff have it where they are separate still, but you know, if you just kind of watch the movie, it is more so just like, or like the intention was just like, hey, they're a mind that shares three bodies. J. Ross says, I always chuckle every time Joshua Joy says, how'd you say get the fuck out of the way in Chinese? Dude, that scene is so funny. Like, genuinely so funny. I love it. So good. I got another thing I can show off to you guys here. Over here, this is the Weijing oversized NPM Megatron. He also has, it's not an upgrade head, but it's an upgrade set for the head. Unfortunately, you'll see one of the two tall horns on his head, he unfortunately took a tumble, I think, because of one of the cats, and one of the spikes broke. Wasn't able to find it to even attempt to glue it back on, and I haven't been able to find an upgrade head for him that is in stock, so right now I'm kind of screwed when it comes to him, but let's see if I can get it to work. There we go. He does have light-up eyes. And this is... In terms of like your transforming figures, this is my favorite 07 Megatron. But I got an upgrade for him. This is from Transformers Defiance, where there's a comic panel where he's speaking to the Fallen through the Fallen sarcophagus, and I forget what, but Megatron, or the Fallen asks him a question of like, what's going to happen to the people opposing him, and Megatron says like, death, or something like that. And he holds up this, and this is his... let me see. His Revenge of the Fallen sword, but coming out of his 07 hand. So he doesn't have, obviously, the claw. You know, to use the yellow part one as an example. Probably not the best lighting at the moment, but I feel like you can definitely see, you know, it is based off of the Revenge of the Fallen sword. And it looked like that in the comics, too. It was more so just coming out of his hand. And the cool thing is the fingers that you can see on here are still articulated. The big ones especially are very articulated, move up and down, sort of side to side. Get a bend here, and a bend there. The the smaller ones here, they only bend in here. They're articulated, kind of iffy. Then you got the weird, like, I kind of call it like the zigzag fingers that moves at the base, then it moves in the middle. Then the other big finger on this side's basically the same as that one. But, yeah, I like it. It's very cool. And what's very neat is the handle that you, because with MP and Megatron you have to slide out the hands, and they're on kind of like a cylinder, and this comes with different sizes, so you can put it on the original NPM, or it's 1-to-1 same size KO. You can put it on him, obviously, or the biggest knockoff figure of him, the Black Mamba one. It fits on him too with the different size. So I just think it's cool that it gives you the options. I like that a lot. I dig it, and I really like this accessory. The arm articulation on NPM Megatron, while not bad, isn't the best. So you can't do too many fancy poses with him, but I like this thing a lot, and just kind of adds something different to do with an '07 Megatron. Sure, it's quite literally only in a comic panel from a comic that like a lot of people probably haven't seen or read, but still, I think this looks cool. Let me get back in here to see where we are talking about just stuff. Oh no. Let's see. Stanley Tucci should have gotten an Oscar for that line delivery alone. Dude, I freaking love Stanley Tucci. He's great. I wonder how much of the Galvatron disdain stems from them immediately going back to Megatron. They never got a chance to tweak/upgrade the Age of Extinction design like they did with '07 Megatron. Yeah, that's kind of fair. Because I remember when Age of Extinction came out, like, maybe not 100% everywhere, but I remember there being some positivity for Galvatron, because he was very much so a setup villain, he was just kind of there to be like, hey, I'll be the main villain of the next one. I remember too, despite Megatron being my favorite character, I was kind of like, damn, they really did kill him off and like immediately brought him back. Granted, that happened in Revenge of the Fallen, but it's also the fact that it happened twice. I have since gotten over that, but because I do think, even though it's a little cartoony, I do kind of love the he survived as a head, especially being a reference to animated. So in my opinion, J. Ross says, in my opinion, animated Ultra Magnus has the best Ultra Magnus alt mode, while Prime has the best robot mode. That's pretty fair. Let's see. Is it Cam asks, what do you think of Hasbro new studio series Transformers: The Last Night Barricade? I think it looks pretty damn good. I'm not even gonna lie. It has some things I'm not the biggest fan of, like the feet look weird with those bits sticking up, and I'm not the biggest fan of that one panel behind the head, but like they're not the biggest deal to me at this point. And I think he looks good. I do think the robot mode looks pretty damn good and accurate. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of that design, it does look accurate. And then the car mode looks really good, so I am pretty excited for him. I think he's cool. Sorry, guys, I'm reading through the comments, so please give me a second. A guy with too many regrets says, hot take, but I'm kind of tired of the good guy turned to evil Megatron from IDW. I want to see pure evil Megatron on the same level as 2003 Shredder. Yeah, I feel like that's a thing, like an issue I have with a lot of or just stuff in general nowadays. It's like, I'm all for, making villains have more of a story, background, give them more depth and whatnot, but sometimes I'm just like, I just need like a good fucking villain, like I just need a bad guy doing bad things and a hero to stop him. Is that simple? Sure. Is that too black and white for some people? Sure. But sometimes I just like that kind of stuff. I don't need there to be all this gray and whatnot. Like if I wanted, gray morality, I'd pay attention to more shit in the real world. And sometimes I just want a bit of an escape. So I don't know. Dang, you guys, it looks like Austin Gillis will not be able to join us today, so, pour one out for your boy. I'm not pouring out my Mountain Dew, but... Jay Ross says, same, not all villains need to be good guys. Yeah, and they all don't need a redemption story. Like, for example, with the Star Wars sequels, You know, I like that first version of the Rise of Skywalker. What was it? Duel of the Fates, where Kylo Ren died as a villain. I think he should have. I Tritonk says, I have a question for you, Mr. Talon. What would you consider to be the song for the last night? Like how what I've done is for '07, New Divide is for. Oh man, I'm not sure. Of course, my go-to is the song that was in the movie Torches, because I actually like Torches a good bit. But like something else for the last night. Man, I don't know. I'd have to think on that a little bit. I also don't really listen to like a ton of music. I kind of have like my stuff that I like, and I sort of just stick with that. I'll try to think on that like just like a little bit more at least. Someone mentioned the "Do You Realize" song. That one wasn't bad, but I definitely feel like that works more as a trailer song rather than a like legitimate song for the movie. If that makes sense. TZ Collector. Oh hey, 30 Collector. Hey, what's up, Talon? First time joining one of your live stream. What's your opinion on Rise of the Beast in terms of weak plot and bland characters? So funny thing is, we will be recording a Talon discussion video on Rise of the Beast this coming Friday in the Discord server. We're gonna have a good few people in there, including J-Man, if anyone's familiar with him. I shared his past two videos in my community post. But so we're gonna go very in depth there. Rise of the Beast. Right now, it's a movie where I don't mind it, but it's not great. And to be honest, I would take probably any other live action movie over it, except for maybe The Last Night. But there's an asterisk there. The asterisk being, I would have more fun watching The Last Night. Rise of the Beast, I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like such a mishmash. Like, you know, I know it's easy to complain, but it's like Rise of the Beast, but like the Maximals don't really play like that much of a huge part, despite having, I think, great designs. Ron Perlman's great as Primal, and having a pretty good introduction scene, and then they just fucking disappear, except for Air Razor, and then they just don't do a whole lot. Like you quite literally cannot see Cheetor or Rhinox clearly in the movie in their robot modes at all. Like you can't even frame by frame or like try to get a screenshot. Like it is all blurry, and that just blows my mind. You know, a lot of people love to complain about like the Dinobots in Age of Extinction, how they were so heavily marketed and this and that. But like, I think the Dinobots were done better than the Maximals were, and that like I've actually thought about doing a video on that, and maybe I will at some point. But like, yeah. Speaking of Rise of the Beast, you know, the Yellow Park Scourge, still very cool. It's kind of neat to have a movie accurate, you know, figure of this design. But otherwise, like I really don't hate Rise of the Beast. It's just I don't know, just bland overall. It's diet Michael Bay, and nobody wants diet Michael Bay because nobody can Michael Bay like Michael Bay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Let's see, Eric M at Talon Productions. The first time I saw Megatron and Galvatron as separate characters was the stop motion series, The Hunted. I've never seen that. But hey, that's pretty cool. It's in there. I hope I'm reading this right. Nathaniel Hong, what's up, Talon? Hope you had a great Halloween weekend. Yeah, it was pretty good. I hope you and everyone else did too. I went and saw on Halloween night, there was a special, I'd say special, but just a limited screening of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. If anyone doesn't know, Halloween, it's obviously a part of the Halloween series with, you know, Michael Myers. And it's the only one that doesn't have Michael Myers in it. And I didn't watch it for the longest time because I heard that and I was like, man, fuck this movie. But I was eventually like, I'm going to give it a shot. And it might be my favorite in the series. I love that movie. It's very underrated. People really need to give it a shot if you're into like horror and stuff. So we went and saw that, and that was fun. Me and my girlfriend. Um, I really didn't do a whole lot otherwise, but it's been a good weekend. Did a big voice chat night in the Discord server last night. Definitely took advantage of daylight savings time with going back an hour because I stayed up way later than I should. I originally intended to use that to try to get some better sleep, but you know, fuck me, I guess. um, hey, like Hog Channel did here. If you guys could try to use an @Talon Productions tag, so I'll see the little like orange bar. But it says, "Have you always liked Age of Extinction? I just remember you said in one of your videos that you once thought The Last Night was better than Age of Extinction. Sorry if I'm mistaken." Yeah, so well, I have always liked Age of Extinction, but I was kind of low on it, I guess you could say, for a little while because I liked it when I first saw it. I saw it twice in theaters, and I did think it was good. But then, like, despite me watching it a decent bit, like at home or if like friends were over, I'd kind of put it on as like background noise, and we'd sort of like watch here and there to get back to talking about whatever. I remember watching the Last Night. I was like, oh, I kind of preferred that one because it kind of, The Last Night did sort of go back in a lot of ways to stuff from the first three movies, is with like the military stuff, and of course returning characters like Lennox and whatnot. Whereas Age of Extinction definitely had its own feel, and not that that's a bad thing, but I was just kind of like, it's just a little, it's a little different for me. But that quickly went away. I was just like, what the fuck am I thinking? Age of Extinction is definitely a better movie. So yeah, once upon a time I did think that, but it wasn't for very long. Let's see. Speaking of unearned redemptions, they are motto thrust from the Japanese universe where Cybertron didn't exist, was revived by G1 Unicron, and became a good guy. I don't like it. Oh, that does sound weird. Speaking of Duel of the Fates, Adam Driver said several times that the original pitch for Kylo Ren was reverse Darth Vader. He wasn't supposed to be redeemed. Yeah, I wish we would have gotten that. I think that's such a cool story. And again, he should have been a villain. I really didn't mind his redemption in The Rise of Skywalker, even though it wasn't done the best. But like, I don't know, man. I'm so tired. Even though I'm the one that brought it up here today, but like discussion around the sequels and stuff just makes me just exhausted sometimes because I've discussed it so much with people and whatnot. It's kind of like Bay Prime, where I'm very proud of the video and whatnot, but like actually discussing it with people online, I get drained very quickly. And like that's why if you guys, I didn't post this, but or share this, but this guy called The Sea made a video like Monday, Tuesday, where it's like, Bay Prime's a psychopath, which he's not. By definition, he is not. And, it's gotten some, definitely criticism. I was so tempted to respond. Because, again, I didn't share this, and you cannot find this comment now because he, it was Eric M. I believe it was you. I'm pretty sure. Please, if you wouldn't mind, say if that was you in the chat. But someone was like, "Hey, I mentioned your video and the thing." I can't remember exactly how it went, but I went and looked. And again, I'm pretty sure if it's Eric M. If it's not, I apologize. And because he brought up, "Hey, Talon Productions video, this and that," and the C was like, "I've seen it, terrible video," and I'm like, okay. I don't really care if someone says they don't like my video, but I was just like, hey, why do you feel like that? And he just responded, just watch my video and you'll know. And I get it, like opposing viewpoints, but like, I feel like there's a bit more to saying something's terrible than just an opposing viewpoint. Like there's plenty of videos where someone has a viewpoint that I don't agree with, but I'm like, hey, like the video was good. Like for example, I don't like his video in Bay Prime, but it's very well made. So I was just like, hey man, like I wouldn't just say yours is bad because of blah blah blah. And he was just like, okay. And it's just like you're just kind of being a dick for like no fucking reason. So I don't know. It's just dumb. But yeah, he eventually deleted that original comment or blocked whoever, and like again, I'm pretty sure it was Eric M. And then removed it or blah, it removed it that way. But Dan, you know what? I actually don't know how we even got on this topic. I'm fucking ranting over here. To 69, I'm trying to get caught back up, you guys. I'm sorry, but to 69 Spartan says, do Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast reviews? I will. I'll go ahead and give you guys a bit of a sneak peek at least. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, but the Dark of the Moon sort of redo retrospective. I am working on that. That will hopefully be out either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. It just really depends on how much I'm able to work on it between now and then. Between trying to do, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I've been trying to do at least one discussion video a month, and I'm working on the next one as we speak, which is on why Transformers fans are so averse to change. So get excited for that one, I guess. You know, like doing those once a month, and I'd like to do another one for December, but I may dedicate the rest of my time after that, aside from shorts, of course, to doing the Dark of the Moon retro. And then I wish I had the Bumblebee box here, because you could swap out his arms for the cannons, and he has swappable fists, because unfortunately his hands don't articulate, so you get just these regular hands and then blah blah blah. But next year, I am going to be doing one of my retrospective reviews on the '86 animated movie, because that will be its 40th anniversary. And I don't know why, but I kind of like doing those ties if I can. That's why I don't mind if work on the Dark of the Moon retro goes into next year, because 2026 will be the 15th anniversary for Dark of the Moon. So I don't really mind. I don't know. I just kind of like having those ties sometimes if I'm able to. But Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, I don't know when I'm going to get around to those specifically, but they will happen. I am going to do those. By the way, and with Tales from Talon's Discord server has been extremely slow, unfortunately. Like we're coming up on a year on the 07 discussion when we recorded it, because it was like a week before Thanksgiving last year, like mid-November, and it's still not done. But hopefully those and then all the other ones can be knocked out, because we've recorded all of the Babe movies, but only Age of Extinction is out, because I wanted that to tie in with the retro when that came out. Sorry. Who should voice IDW 2005 crime? Ooh. I'm not sure. Hob Channel says, at Talon Productions, I'd be glad to see this video. Aw, man, that must have been from an earlier thing. What, if you don't mind answering, what video were you talking about? Tritunk says, I've not seen Rise of the Beast and probably never will, but is it true that Rhinox doesn't speak at all? Yes, it is true. He does not speak at all. Granted, there's already been answered. Yeah, Hob Channel says, doesn't even remember Cheetor's lines. He only has a few quick lines, which sucks because I do like his voice, the very few times that we hear it. Jay Ross asks, didn't he say we will clear the way? I've seen people mention that as a oh, damn. Sorry, B. I have heard people mention that as a possibility. But, like, to me, it just sounds too much like Ron Perlman's Primal. But, let's see. Eno says, don't you think it's weird that some versions of Megatron, after Revenge of the Fallen, idolizing the Fallen, even name themselves after him, and the only versions that close to each other is Bayverse? Yeah, like, I don't mind taking the inspiration from that, but sometimes it's a bit odd, because at least you had to think of, like, the Fallen was Megatron's teacher, and Megatron was his student, you know? Rito Makes Vid says, at Talon Productions, I honestly wish we got at least a mention of Sam, or at least a implication of death, maybe even after rewatching the first three Sams, or maybe because after rewatching the first three films, Sam grew on me a lot. Yeah, I really wish they didn't keep it so vague, because my thing is, even though a lot of people point to it as being confirmation of him dying, that picture in Edward Burton's castle on The Last Night is not evidence of him being dead. Is it sort of implied? Sure. Or like, I don't know, because it's just a picture. Like, Sam doesn't even know he's in the organization. There's no proof that he ever did know that. You know, and Edward Burton just has a bunch of random stuff relating to Transformers, so it's like, why wouldn't he have a picture of like one of the most important people to interact with them? That's something I've actually wanted to do. Maybe not a full video, but like a short on of just like, hey, this doesn't actually mean that Sam's dead. 30 Collector says, or I'm assuming it's 30 Collector. TC Collector says, Rise of the Beast was just a mess. In my opinion, the story was so weak that it felt like they had no choice but to resort to bringing in Unicron to make it somewhat interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Eric M, the C is the sausage for blocking me. And it was you. Okay, cool. Yeah, Jacob, if you guys see here, or Jahoob the Great, I'm sorry. He said that his Discord server is the most toxic thing ever. Yeah, he was in the C's Discord until that day when he saw all the stuff that the C was saying. And then, like, interacting with some people, they just started being just complete assholes to him, and I hated that. So, yeah, like, low-key, fuck that guy. Jay Ross, last month I argued with the same dude who thought Bay Prime's a war criminal on TikTok, and I won again. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Arctic Warrior says, I have a question. Have you heard of the fan-made series named TFP Lost Spark? It will have 22-minute episodes just like TFP, and it's made by fans for fans. It will be good, unlike Galvatron's Revenge. I have not heard of that, but hey, I hope, as a fan project, it works out. Hopefully it is good. TZ Collector said Bay Prime is a hardened leader by war, yet his character respected his allies. Meanwhile, Rise of the Beast Prime is an uncalled for, depressed asshole. Yep. 100%. Tritonk says, I was literally typing next year would be perfect for your Dark of the Moon video redo, as 2026 will be the film's 15th anniversary. That's funny. Yeah, I was hoping to get it out this year around Christmas, because I kind of like the idea of, like, Christmas gift to, the subscribers and the fans and whatnot. But the November is kind of a very busy month for me. I have 2 weddings to go to, one large and small, and I'm also taking like a week-long trip. Ironically enough, despite December usually being like the busy season for people with the holidays and whatnot, like that's going to be kind of easy for me. But yeah. Jahoob, yeah, the drama with seeing his server. Yeah, dude, that was nuts. All the screenshots you took, knucking futz. Cyberlight, also I'm going to explain where the heck was Monarch during the... yeah. Let's see. At Hob Channel says, at Talon Productions, a video comparing the Dinobots and Maximal's roles in the film. Yeah, I do plan on doing something like that at some point, because I'm sure people will disagree with that. If for no other reason than like 3 out of the 4 have speaking roles compared to the Dinobots who don't. I don't know though, because my thing is, I feel like the Dinobots, yeah, they should have been in the movie more, but they still lived up to what they were meant to do. They had the big action scenes at the end of the film and whatnot. Because, like, the Maximals don't even really get action scenes that much, or, like, much of anything. Again, you cannot see Cheetor and Rhinox in their robot forms clearly in that movie. They do a couple of, like, 2-second long cool things, like whenever, like, Rhinox uses his hammer to hit that one guy, and then Cheetor impales that guy with his spear and stuff. There's some cool stuff, but it's just like, again, like the wasted potential, like the video did on how Primal should have done something the Scourge. But Jay Ross says, how would you redesign 07 Megatron? I would not redesign 07 Megatron. I think he's perfect as is. Tritunk asks, Has there ever been another single room slash scene in a film that totally fucks up a franchise's continuity, like Edward Burton's Wiccan's room does with Bayformers? Yeah, yeah, because I used to call that the continuity destroying room. It's not to the same extent, but I would argue that the flashback scene in the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales, where it shows how Captain Salazar got trapped in the Devil's Triangle with like young Jack Sparrow. That one kind of does the same stuff because it shows how Jack got the compass from this captain, even though Tia Dalma Calypso in Dead Man's Chest, the second one, specifically says that Jack bartered with her for the compass. And then just like timeline wise, it feels a little iffy. And then like, if there was this big guy like killing all pirates, why didn't like the Brethren Court from the third movie step in? Just this and that, and like, I don't know. And then like Jack Sparrow just kind of gets everything that you associate with his character in terms of looks in one fell swoop, including the hat. I don't know. And it's funny is both of those movies came out in 2017. Damn, sorry you guys. And both of those movies were the fifth installments in their respective franchise. I've actually wanted to do a comparison between the Pirates franchise and the Bayformers franchise at some point. I'm not sure what random pose I'm going for here, but... Oh yeah, Bumblebee movie Prime. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do like the Bumblebee movie Optimus design a lot. As much as I'd like to be like, oh, there's G1 designs and this and that, but like it does look pretty cool. Let's see. Rito Makes Vid says at Talon Productions, my personal headcanon is that Sam died in the ambush in New Mexico, either getting killed by Attinger or Lockdown. See, I'm very down for that as an idea. I don't mind it. The only thing is, and you, just for clarification, you were not saying this, so this is not aimed at you at all. But I cannot stand when people try to use, or try to use the whole like, oh, but Optimus says no, Sam, run in the barn as like evidence of that. When it's like, first of all, Optimus doesn't say that. That's grunts and yells and whatnot. I cannot stand that. It's like, and it's just a theory, like, I don't know, or a headcanon. And I don't mind it. It's just when people try to use stuff that's not even factual to back it up, it makes my fucking head hurt, dude. Eric M. A lot of Bay haters say that Bayverse fans were toxic and ruined the fun for everyone. As a Bayverse fan, I've never met any Bayverse fan who was like that. I have come across a few of them in the comments and whatnot, like here or on Instagram or TikTok and stuff like that. So they do exist, but I genuinely don't think it's to the degree that they like to say it is. Not to mention, if any Bayverse fan gets even remotely toxic, hold on a second. Come on, does this activate somewhere? Is it a button? Sorry, the end of his gun kind of made it look to me like he might have a light up feature. Huh. Maybe not. I probably looked really, really dumb just now going like, oh, is this going to work? But yeah, I don't really see, like, it's because they'll get into arguments and rile up the Bay fan or fans. And then they'll be like, oh, look, guys, he's pissed off. Like, yeah, because you made him that way, you fuck. God. Makes me mad just thinking about it. Cheetor should have killed Nightbird and Rhinox should have killed Battletrap. That could have been neat, yeah. At the very least, especially going with the theme of, like, teaming up and stuff, maybe Cheetor should have helped Bumblebee. Then you kind of, you get the whole thing of, like, the two yellow Kid Appeal characters from the past, like, teaming up. Rhinox, I'd be down with that. I think someone other than both Optimus and Primal should have killed Battletrap. Uh, Rise of the Beast was more like Rise of the Wasted Potential. Hey, I call it Rise of the Mid, so. See, personally, I'd give 07 Megatron more spikes in the back of his head, give him his fusion cannon on his arm, make his fingers a bit more bulky, and give him more colors. That's fair, because, like, I like the head as is, but I can kind of see, because, like, he kind of has it where, like, all of the mass is sort of at the front, and then he just kind of, like, slopes down, like, to a certain point. So I could maybe see maybe a few more spikes. That could be kind of neat. Me, personally, I'm okay with him not having the fusion cannon on the arm. I really enjoyed the fact that he had the one-handed thing that transforms, and then he had, of course, the combining your hands together. His fingers being bulkier, though, I could maybe get behind that, and give him more colors. That's one I could give or take, because I enjoy how he looks in the movie as is in terms of the colors. What are your Cyberlight asks also, what are your thoughts on Emma Russell's character from King of the Monsters? She was not good. I get it. Grief can change a person, but holy cow, I did not expect for her to be like, my son died. Yeah, now humanity must die. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of her either. That's about all I can say. Jahoob the Great asks, dude, are you ever gonna review Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03 and the beginning, which is the prequel to the 03 film? At some point, I just, I like doing the horror movie reviews, but they do tend to be some of the lower performing stuff on my channel, I guess, because I do make so much Transformers content that's like too different for people. I was gonna get back to doing my horror reviews for the month of October this year. It just didn't work out that way. I don't know. We'll see how next year goes, I guess, because I haven't done them since 2023. It's just if I'm working on a bunch of other stuff or big stuff, like this year being the Dark of the Moon retrospective, those will typically be the first things to kind of, get pushed to the wayside. Tritonk says, 5th Pirates of the Caribbean film. There's only 3. You feeling okay? I mean, here's the thing. The 3 are definitely the best, but honestly, I don't mind the 4th or 5th movies. Despite my earlier complaints about the 5th movie having, like, the continuity issues, and, of course, Jack Sparrow fucking sucks in the 5th one. Hell, I actually think On Stranger Tides is pretty good, despite thinking that Blackbeard's a pretty fucking weak villain. He's played very well. Ian McShane's great, but, like, Davy Jones, he is not. He did not have to be as good as Davy Jones, but... Damn, my cough is starting to hit me out of nowhere. I've been fine. But, yeah. Hob Channel, after last night, Optimus' line, we learned Earth's languages through the internet, can simply be seen as his explanation for how Jazz knows modern jargon. Yeah, yeah. Let's see, Cyberlight says, my headcanon is that Sam is still alive, but he is in hiding and only Bumblebee knows that he is alive while everyone else thinks he's dead. I could be down with that. Nathaniel Holling says, I think that when Optimus woke up in Cade's barn, I believe he said, no, damn. You know what? I'd be okay with that, because that definitely sounds way more. It's just, I really don't get how people are hearing Sam or run, especially when the like, yell or whatever you want to call it, that would be the run, is reused in the final battle, and I'm pretty sure in other scenes, too. Love Gun says, a true G1... of course this thing moved. A true G1 fan doesn't speak ill of Bayverse fans, and a true Bayverse fan doesn't speak ill of G1 fans. You know what, facts. And my thing is, I do not speak ill of G1 fans, but G1ers I will speak ill of. J-Man, hello, glad you're here. If the new Bay movie is the Last Night sequel, I hope Unicron will be the reason for the inconsistencies in the Last Night, like Unicron making events in different timelines appear to happen, just like in the main timeline. That's definitely something that could work. I feel like there are three big retcons that angered me. Uh, the Wiccan, so last night, Devil's Triangle, so Pirates, and then the big Osmosian retcon, Ben 10. I'm not a Big Ten fan, so I can't really comment on that. Talon Productions, J-Man, Theorymus, and Blockswave, the four horsemen of defending the Bayverse. Hey, it's pretty cool to be considered in that group. Especially since at this point, the only person I really know is J-Man, who is great. You guys should check out his channel, his videos, and subscribe. Blockswave, I feel like I'd get along well with, and Theorymus as well, probably, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his actual theories, to be completely honest. All of his behind-the-scenes stuff, great. But sometimes I just don't really like a lot of the logic and kind of presenting fan theories as facts that he's done in the past. Let's see. Jay Ross asks, what's y'all's favorite design on your favorite Transformer? Well, Megatron's my favorite Transformer. And of course, my favorite design for him is Revenge of the Fallen. Damn, I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. It's funny. I've been fine all morning and whatnot, but then the second I get on here, my cough starts up, my nose gets a little stuffy. I hate it. Let's see. Will Takara Tomy make Revenge of the Fallen NPM Soundwave? We do not know. We haven't heard anything about that. And if I'm being 100% completely honest, I kind of doubt that'll happen. A third party might, for sure. But, official, I don't know. I'm not sure if they'll want to put so much, especially with a higher price point, into a design that maybe isn't super popular. Even though I think a lot of people at least like the concept of Soundwave being a satellite. But, I don't know. The Bay fans would love it, but just like thinking of, stuff overall, I kind of doubt that'll happen officially anytime soon. Let's see here. Rito Makes Vid says, I feel like the Bumblebee movie is very overrated because I really don't like Bumblebee and think he's a nothing character. I only liked him in Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. I mean, I definitely think the Bumblebee movie is overrated, but I do still think it's pretty good. I just think it's mostly if I'm being completely honest here, the main reasons I might not like come off as not liking the Bumblebee movie is more so because of the response to it and how some people use it to trash other stuff like the Bay movies. Also, I'm not sure how well this is going to come off on camera, but this is the Driss Tech Bayverse Spark accessory. I'm trying to see if it's actually showing up decently well by looking over here. Maybe it's a tad blurry. Yeah, nothing much to it, but I dig it. I've kind of enjoyed having Megatron here hold that up. With that, I also got from them, he made the Dark of the Moon Voyager Optimus Mech Tech gun. I believe this is it before it's activated. I can't remember. And it doesn't do the spring-loaded stuff, but it's just a neat-looking gun, and, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. Hell, I wonder how Protoform Prime would look with him, because it has the same, was it, the 5mm port? It fits kind of loose in his hand. Well, never mind, that's not going to work. Hob Channel says, in my honest opinion, X-Men First Class is the one that deserves big criticism for the retcons, unlike the last night. See, the big difference there, though, at least X-Men First Class is good. Because, it's in my opinion, too, that's my favorite X-Men movie. I love First Class. So it definitely has its retcons and whatnot. Um, but I think it gets a bit more of a pass from people because of the fact that it's like good. Whereas the Last Night, I would still argue does overall worse stuff with that kind of thing, and then is God damn, someone's fucking around with the garage and apparently just can't get it to go right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just long story short, TLK not great, X-Men First Class great, so it doesn't like it gets a bit more of a pass. Eric M. The best horror is atmospheric horror. I'd probably agree. Favorite Transformers design of all time is Dark of the Moon Megatron. I'm just a sucker for cloaks, especially for villains, and the battle damage head is awesome. You know what, Rito, I can agree. I mean, it's not my favorite design for Megatron, but I love cloaks and capes and stuff like that, and just with the battle damage look and especially the head, like it has a good vibe to it. I do agree. Love Gun says, "Hey, it's good. Getting sick." The thing was, I was sick of my last live stream. Jesus Christ, live stream. Whenever I built Rise of the Beast Scourge, and I kind of just like been dealing with the lingering stuff since then, like the cough and the occasional like feeling stuffy and whatnot. Because like for the most part, I feel fine. Imagine if Galvatron decided to kill Cyclonus and Tailgate. That would have been kind of wild. Looks a bit like the hatchlings. You know what? I can see that. I can definitely see that. Like I said, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this is based on Ratchet's spark for the brief time that you see it in Age of Extinction. Days of Future Past is my favorite X-Men movie. That one's pretty good. Name's Tyler. Hello, Tyler. I do remember you. I'll be honest. I wouldn't have been able to put, the name Tyler to the username, but I do remember you. So hey, glad you're back. But if you what the hell? I'm gonna buy NPM Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe in 2027. I'm gonna get him when he comes out too. He definitely looks flawed. I went over this in my reveal video from a week or two ago. I can't remember exactly. But I do like him. He's definitely flawed, but hey. And it's interesting how as Bayformers went on, the Autobots' weaponry became less integrated into their bodies and more like regular guns and swords. Yeah, that's definitely a change, especially in Dark of the Moon, because I granted there's a reason why he doesn't have the cannons, but Ironhide now has the heavy iron stuff. And you had Soundwave dual wielding his guns. Granted, Sideswipe already had these, but he's got his guns that aren't integrated. Then of course, getting into Age of Extinction, Hound and Crosshairs and blah blah blah. But so yeah, they definitely kind of did that a bit less as it went on, even though there were still integrated weapons. But I think it was for the most part, a neat mix of integrated stuff with standalone weapons, I guess you could call it. J-Man says, Unique Toys, give me Jazz and my life is yours. I think Jazz could do pretty well for Unique Toys. Granted, though, if I'm being honest, I feel like NPM Jazz is still really good. And, I don't know, he's my personal favorite Jazz figure. Because, heck, he was even doing some of the Unique Toys tricks, like having the, sculpted back detail on the back of, the panel that ends up on his back. Tyler, I would like to do shelves in my room as well. Yellow Park, give me 07 Megatron and my life is yours. Dude, I would love it because they're already doing, they've already done Revenge of the Fallen. they're doing Dark of the Moon. So it'd be cool to have, the trifecta and do '07 as well. Hell, don't stop there. Do a Galvatron. I'll probably get it. Do Last Night Megatron as well. Let's see. Hob Channel says, I grew up on TF Primes, and built-in weapons and tools are standing for me. Yeah, no, that's pretty fair. Yellow Park Optimus looks good as well. I'm really digging how he's looking. Damn, you guys, I do apologize though if stuff is a bit just boring, I guess. Or at least visually, because it's just me kind of occasionally messing with the figure here and there. Not exactly sure. I didn't really plan out exactly what this one was going to be, because the live builds. Obviously that's me building stuff and then kind of showing off the finished figure. I forget what exactly, but I was doing stuff specifically on the first Hangout and Chill, and then the was it Q&A? No, the Hot Takes one. Tritalk says, just a heads up, dude, I might have to leave around 15 minutes. Oh, dude, that's fine. The J-Man, the DLX Ironhide looks so peak. Yeah, it does. I love that thing. Well, I say that like I own it. I love what we've seen of him. The Jazz is pretty just spectacular, too. Rito Makes Vid says, I think the Bayverse was really good at emotional moments, especially with the deaths. I could agree with that for the most part, because there are some scenes that I do think genuinely worked very well. For example, in Revenge of the Fallen at the end, when Sam is telling his parents to leave and his dad is just like, no, we're going to do it together. That scene is very well done, just from the acting and just the emotions present. Like that scene is very good. I do think, though, I don't 100% agree with like the deaths or just the character death in general, especially in Dark of the Moon. Because Dark of the Moon would just do it where it's like a character would die and their head would roll away and that's it. No, Ironhide gets rusted to death. His head separates, rolls away like a ball. That's the last time anything happens with him. Q/Wheeljack gets shot a couple times. His head falls off, rolls away a little bit. Bumblebee at least gives him a brief acknowledgement, but again, that's it. Now there are other deaths obviously that do have a good bit to it, like say Prime in Revenge of the Fallen. I think that's done pretty well. There's just some I do have issues with. A guy with too many regrets. Hasbro, give me a 2007 RC and an 07 game Shockwave for Studio Series. My life is yours. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Eno asks, since Megatron is your favorite character, do you prefer him to be a lower class? Example, minor gladiator, or middle/upper class soldier, ruler of Cybertron. I guess for me the answer would just be I kind of like seeing the rise, I guess, from him being a lower class to being a leader. Although I also liked Bayverse Megatron's backstory in the IDW comics, where he was already kind of a leader and whatnot, and he got jealous though of Optimus, or of Sentinels seemingly choosing Optimus over him, and Optimus being a Prime and blah blah blah. So I don't know. I Love Gun. I don't oppose humans and Transformers sharing screen time, but it should have been split evenly. I mean that's pretty fair. J-Man says, the whole '07 cast coming out by 3-0 is so peak, but I know the whole crew is going to cost an arm and leg. Oh, yeah, especially since I'm not sure if they're doing... give me a second. I don't know if they are doing all of them the way they're doing Jazz, where it's like there's a regular edition, there's a deluxe edition, and then there's the like event exclusive edition or whatever. But it's like all of them are going to be around $200. Some over, and then depending on like which Jazz you get, it'll be it could be under. So like it's definitely going to be like around $1,000 if not more. Kind of sucks saying that out loud because like I totally plan on getting them and anyone else they do. I'm really hoping they do the '07 guys or not the '07 guys, but the '07 Decepticons. Just that would be awesome. Yellow Park should do the Cybertron game bots. That'd be cool. Babe vs. Megatron, the ultimate fumbler. Megatron more like Fumbletron. Whoa. We don't do Babe vs. Megatron slander here. This is my boy. This is my boy. Trident says, I don't know how controversial this is, but I'm so happy Peter Cullen didn't voice Bayverse or Bayformer's Ironhide. Jess Harnell is # my Ironhide. No, I'm actually with you, just especially for the Ironhide they were doing. And that's not to say that Peter Cullen's Ironhide from G1 is bad, because it's not. And I just don't think it would have fit. Rito says, the Star Wars sequels are the best examples of why you need to plan ahead, because they had something going with Force Awakens, and then they just made shit up as they went. Yeah, 100%. The thing is, I don't even think you need a super detailed, like, roadmap, if that makes sense. Just know where you're going to end up, and, like, some of the, at least the basic points of how you get there. Let's see. Eric M says, at Talon Productions, every single Sentinel, who are you, live action Sentinels? I am you, but I actually live up to our reputation. I'll be real, I don't really have much invested in the Sentinels either way. I did like the Sentinels in the movie. But I don't really know much about them comic-wise other than them being mutant killers and just kind of their general look, so I'd probably agree with that. Love Gun, I think only Dark of the Moon upset the balance between screen time of Transformers and humans. Huh. I don't know, man, because like I always felt like, because I remember even thinking this in the theater, that Dark of the Moon did a pretty good job of like, there'd be a human scene, then there'd be a Transformer scene, and it kind of went back and forth like that. I always thought it did a pretty decent job, but again, just in my opinion. I'm not slandering him, I swear. That's fair. Megatron, the weak, puny waste of metal and junkyard crap. Hey, now. All I'm saying is, who died in that fight? Hob Channel. George Lucas didn't even plan for Darth Vader to be Luke's father. I mean, yeah, that's my thing. A lot of people love to point to, like, the original trilogy. It's like, this was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, there's plenty of stuff, like, Darth Vader was not originally Luke's father. I mean, hell, I don't even think Luke and Leia being brother and sister was actually a thing until Return of the Jedi. Despite the implications of Leia being Force sensitive and whatnot, I'm pretty sure with the whole "there is another" said by Yoda, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that they're supposed to introduce Luke's sister in like the next trilogy or something like that. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that changed. I'd argue that they didn't even have anything going on with The Force Awakens. It's pretty much just A New Hope again. I mean, that's fair, but I think they had a lot of interesting new characters and concepts. It really needed to be expanded upon, because I know a lot of people love to complain about the whole, like, it's just A New Hope thing, but, like, and that's fair. But I just really feel like that was the, for better or worse, the smart move at the time, especially with how people still love to complain about the prequels then. And, going back to a sort of, not hashtag back to basics, but, just a back to basics Star Wars movie, I think made sense and overall was the smart move. The thing is, you needed to have a really good follow up, and that's just not what happened. It's a very similar situation, I feel, to Age of Extinction. Age of Extinction set up a lot of stuff in that movie that The Last Night just does not follow up on, what either at all or follows up on it very poorly, like say Quintessa. So I don't know. The durability of Revenge of the Fallen Megatron is insane. That's said by J-Man. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he survives the bombing in Operation Firestorm just to kill Sam. And the only reason he flees is because he's in enemy territory outnumbered. And it seemed to me like his fusion cannon wasn't working correctly for some reason. Jay Ross says, yeah, but who got his ass kicked in the fight? Here's my thing, though. Was he kind of getting his ass kicked? Sure, but again, the durability, how much of that really affected him? Because there's times where he gets straight up just stabbed and, like, just whatnot. And he really doesn't look like he's any worse for wear at all. Like, especially by the end of the fight. Like, Revenge of the Fallen Megatron is quite literally a tank. Not just because he turned into one, but, like, he takes a lot of hits and it's just not affected. Like, so for me, it's like, sure, he took a lot of hits and got thrown around a good bit, but does it really matter when that's not really damaging him at all? Granted, I would have loved Revenge of the Fallen Megatron to have the same sort of stuff going on like he did in 07. Yeah. The great forest jumping. George Lucas made Luke and Leia siblings, so there would be a reason why they couldn't be a couple. I mean, I could believe it. J-Man said bro was a damage sponge. Yes, he was. He took so much damage in that movie, dude. Like, it took him... Like, because heck, even for me, when he took actual damage, when he got his arm cut off, and had half of his face blown off, I wish I could interchange this with a damaged face to make my point more. But, like, he was, to me at least, he looked like he was still willing to fight. I really do feel like it took Starscream coming in being, hey, like, cowards do survive, we should leave. And him realizing, damn, I did get kind of fucked up, for him to say, you know what, let's go. But maybe that's just because I love Megatron. I like to assume, yeah, he still would have tried to fight. Even though it would not have been smart. Because even Jet Power Prime, having lost a bunch of his stuff, would still probably take him out, if I'm being honest. Eric M. says, I love the fact that Rancors in the expanded universe are like cows if they aren't hungry. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I do like Rancors in Star Wars. Rito says, I wish Ultra Magnus was in the Bayverse, maybe have as Optimus and Megatron's youngest brother, have him be Optimus' emotional support during Age of Extinction. That'd be kind of neat. I like that idea a lot, actually. Not gonna lie. That would have been pretty cool. Oh no, you guys, it's time for some chug. Age of the Prime's Vortex. Nah, you know what? I don't. Chug or not, I don't care because I love the Combaticons, no matter what version. And fun fact, Bruticus is my favorite combiner. So. See, J. Ross, Ultra Magnus was supposed to be in Dark of the Moon, and he was replaced by Sentinel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing something like that was originally for Magnus, but they didn't feel like that was like true to the character. Even though like it would have been very extreme, I do feel like you could kind of use R.I.D. Magnus as a basis there because he was kind of a dick. Let's see here. Okay. I really hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, so please forgive me. But Daniel Krieger, I'm pretty sure that's it. Hello, Talon. I really enjoy your Defense of Bay Prime video. It helped me remember why I like the Bay movies to begin with. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining on here, and I really appreciate it. I say this usually every time it gets brought up, but I put a lot of effort into Defense of Bay Prime, and I'm still very proud of how it turned out. I have thought, and hey, if you guys would like to see this, please comment in the chat. But I have thought about, I'm not sure if I want to say series, but maybe turning that into kind of a series, and maybe covering other characters. My only thing is though, it's just like, Bay Prime. There's a lot of points to address, a lot of arguments and whatnot. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm not really sure how to approach in defense of Michael Bay's Megatron or Starscream. Not to mention, like, Blotswave is already doing a pretty good job of doing that sort of stuff since he's covered Shockwave, Starscream, and Soundwave. Let's see. But, yeah, Daniel, again, thank you. Cyberlight says I'm back. Glad you're back. I wonder what happened to Miles, Sam's friend from the 07 movie. Yeah, what did happen to him? I mean, I'm not like super bothered not knowing or anything, but it's just kind of funny that a lot of Sam's friends just kind of disappear. Because I mean, I would assume with all they went through in Revenge of the Fallen that Leo was their friend, but we don't see him again. Even though we actually were supposed to, because Michael Bay said that, wasn't his name Ramon Rodriguez that played Leo? That he was supposed to come back in Dark of the Moon and he was going to have a larger role, but that didn't happen. Let's see, the only things that Revenge of the Fallen that seriously damaged Megatron are a Jetfire infused and Matrix of leadership powered Optimus Prime and his own fusion cannon. Yep. That's the only thing that caused any damage to him. Again, he does take a lot of hits in Revenge of the Fallen. He is thrown around, but it doesn't really affect him. Jahoob the Great says, would you agree that the art style of the Dark of the Moon comic adaptation has a anime vibe to it? Yeah, I could definitely agree with that for sure. Brendan says, is that a Chugoid figure, Mr. Talon Productions at YouTube.com? It was a Legacy Vortex. The big ass dog from the 07 film has 3 different owners. Oh, really? Interesting. Eric, I don't know why so many Transformers fans are obsessed with Optimus forgiving Megatron regardless of universe. To a point, I get it. Optimus is supposed to see the best of people and hope for the best, But I don't know. Like, I enjoyed, even though Transformers Prime kind of ended up walking this back, I enjoyed how Optimus was just like, you know what? I've realized Megatron's not going to change. It's time for me to end his ass. Like, his whole Megatron must be destroyed. That still gives me chills to this day. When are we going to do a little mojo? Whenever you want, man. I'm not sure if I want to snort stuff live on camera, but hey. Pop Channel says, I'm really curious why Michael Bay didn't like Jolt. Has that ever been said that he didn't like Jolt? I haven't heard anything like that. I mean, I guess you could maybe assume if they didn't bring him back, but I don't know. I just assumed, hey, Jolt's not coming back because, he was such a minor character. Even though he actually did a lot of stuff and got a name shout out. Well, did a lot of stuff in the sense that the world probably wouldn't have been saved if it wasn't for him. Also, Widowmaker, great figure. Super glad she exists. Really hope that we get more Bayverse concept characters. And hey, if you haven't seen it, check out the video I did talk about what Bayverse concept characters I would like to see. And let me know which ones you'd like to see, both on the video and, hey, here in the chat if you want. Tritunk says, okay, this has probably been a few minutes now, so I'm sure he's already gone, unfortunately. But, okay, I gotta head out, dude. Hopefully I'll be able to stay for the full stream next time. It's been, if you are still here, it's been great having you on. Damn, man, my cough. Daniel said name pronunciation is spot on. Good. Okay, good. I always like to make sure. Like I really hate being that guy who flubs names because my last name is a little odd, so I'm used to that. And yeah, talking about Blackswave did videos on it. I mean, that still wouldn't necessarily be stop me from doing my own videos of it, but I guess for me it's like I might not have too much to say that he maybe already has it, so it probably wouldn't even really be worth it, but who knows. If I even did those, I'm not really like, the only one I feel like I would really go for there would be Starscream, but alright. Would you have preferred Eno asks, would you have preferred Shockwave being the main villain of Dark of the Moon, or are you happy with Sentinel? I'm fine with Sentinel. I do think an alternate Dark of the Moon where Shockwave is the main villain is interesting to think of, especially because there were some pretty cool, like, I'm pretty sure these were obviously fake leaks or people just like having their own theories with stuff. I remember there were things where it's like Starscream was going to go behind Megatron's back and let Shockwave know of like the failures on Earth, and Shockwave was going to bring his own army, and there's going to be a bit of a power struggle between Shockwave and Megatron, and Sentinel was going to help fight with Optimus and stuff. There's going to be a cool like scene of them standing back to back fighting off Decepticons. Kind of think like the Iron Man and War Machine versus the Hammer Drones in Iron Man 2. That's kind of what I always pictured when I heard that. Yeah, it's definitely a neat what if, and I mean, hell, maybe that's something I could do sometime. Or do a video of. Evade vs. Ultra Madness Cove had a rivalry with Shockwave or even Starscream. Yeah, definitely possible. Oh, okay, no, okay, I get you now. Yeah, Miles had the dog, then Michaela, then Sam. It kind of cracks me up to think that when Sam and Michaela broke up, he got her dog for some reason. Granted, I'm sure we all know, but the real reason why that dog is around is because that's Michael Bay's dog, Bone Crusher, named after, of course, Bone Crusher from 07. Eric M. Every time I see a power scaling video, I feel like I am in a math lesson and don't understand it. Dude, power scaling is stupid. Seriously, power scaling stupid. I just like, I don't know, cause especially again just with this one freaking like argument I had with this guy on a video, where he was like, Rise of the Beast Prime is way stronger than Bay Prime at any point because he stabbed or he destroyed the the transwarp key, and that Primal said that thing was going to have the energy of a supernova or something, and that means Rise of the Beast Prime is solar system scale. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is idiotic and trying way too hard to apply like a real science to it. Shut the fuck up. I'm neutral to power scaling. Eric M. I am honest. Me too. This is how I feel when I watch a power scaling video. No, that's totally fair. Totally fair. You know what? To at least do a little something on screen. Oh, yeah, I was gonna Widowmaker first. Bruh, even Bayverse Bumblebee can take down Rise of the Beast Prime. You know, when it comes to like, I don't know, maybe it's not so much power scaling, but people in general, and I'm pretty sure we kind of briefly discussed this in my build for Rise of the Beast Scourge. Um, I really don't like when people try so hard to make Scourge sound like super strong, blah blah blah, and oh, he's got Unicron power. And it's like, yeah, that didn't really do a whole lot for him. Like, yeah, sure, I will admit, Prime got his ass kicked in that first fight. Like, Prime hasn't seen an ass kicking like that since Megatron in '07. But, like, their second fight was equal with, dare I say, Prime getting the better of Scourge. He got more hits in and whatnot. And then in the final battle, Scourge just gets his ass beat. And Unicron was right freaking there. So unless you argue that like Unicron took the power away or something, like it's dumb. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. Daniel says, one video I highly recommend everyone watches Danco's videos on Optimus Prime and Megatron if you want a great breakdown of power scaling and Transformers. I haven't heard of that video or of that guy, so I mean, hey, I'd be down to check it out. Maybe, despite me just doing a whole lot of like power scaling sucks. I'm always willing to give something a shot, you know. The twins beat Scourge easy. Damn. Also, facts. You know, I've even said too, so a lot of people love to compare Scourge to the Bay villains and stuff. I think the only villain Scourge could probably beat is Lockdown. Lockdown's great, do not get me wrong, but he is kind of just a bounty hunter. Who tends to fight from afar and then go in. Yes, he does pull some good moves on Prime, but my thing is, even in their final battle, Lockdown was pulling off some weird stuff. I don't really think it was anything that was like, damn, what's Prime going to do? Because Prime was handling him just fine. And hell, Evasion Prime, still being kind of damaged, was able to get the better of Lockdown. But everyone else, you know, Megatron, especially '07 Megatron, Sentinel, The Fallen, Galvatron, Scourge would lose to all of them. Quintessa, it depends. There we go. Widowmaker. I like her a lot. She's pretty cool. I apologize for this. Whew. Damn, I needed that one. Alright, where did I leave off here? Tyler says, I have Widowmaker. Yeah, man, how do you like her? I think she's a pretty neat figure. Hot Channel says, Scourge is small and too clumsy compared to Lockdown. Hell, I think they're the same size, because if I remember correctly, Rise of the Beast Scourge is around, like, 22 feet. So if he's not the same size, he should be shorter, because if I remember correctly, in terms of official heights, Lockdown is about Ironhide's height. And I think Ironhide was, like, 22 feet tall. Somewhere in there. So Scourge, actually, yeah, he might be slightly smaller than Lockdown at the pins, but... J. Ross, you think Lockdown would beat Scourge? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Lockdown could. I just think if there's a Bayverse villain that Scourge has the potential to beat, it'd be Lockdown. Everyone else, he does not. Hell, keep in mind, there are a lot of people that say that Scourge would beat, or I've seen people say that Scourge could beat '07 Megatron. And I want to show you. This would be pretty scale accurate. Because Megatron is 35 feet tall. Scourge, like I said, I don't remember exactly. He's like 22 feet tall. I don't see this going well, in his favor, especially just considering how Megatron fights in 07. But Pop Channel says, wow, Lockdown looked a lot bigger in the movie. Well, he also has some of the most egregious cases of them changing sizes for the sake of the shots in the movie. Because Lockdown is intended to be like 22 feet tall. But to help him scale better with Prime, he is scaled up in a lot of shots. But the thing is, that happens a lot in the movies. Because there are plenty of times where Optimus is Megatron sized, even though he's not supposed to be. Optimus is supposed to be 28 feet tall, Megatron's 35. But there's a channel, or not a channel, there's a guy on Instagram you guys can find. His name's Steampunk, and Steampunk with some numbers, I can't remember exactly what it is. But he has done the most work I've seen to break down this stuff. And he's on TFW 2005, and he's got a lot of threads with scale stuff. He has broken down how often characters change sizes, what sizes they are in certain shots. Because there's even a shot where Optimus is only like 20 feet tall, and that's when he talks to Charlotte mirroring like face to face at Dark of the Moon. The whole, who was its captain? The great Sentinel Prime, the technology's inventor. Like that scene. He's only like 20 feet tall there. So yeah, various characters have upscaled heights, various characters have downscaled heights. It all depends on what looks best within the shot. But that's why I try, especially with like figures and stuff, I like trying to get stuff based around these, official heights. Because, for me it's like, yeah, they change sizes scene to scene sometimes for what looks best in the shot, and even like angles and whatnot. But, so that changes, that fluctuates, but the official numbers don't. So that's me. Eric M says, I'm open for more human and alien villains and villains and Transformers. Yeah, me too. I like to see more of that. Aliens could be neat. I mean, like, I really like some of the human villains, like Mech and Silas, of course, in Prime. Attinger in Age of Extinction. Just characters like that. Bumblebee being voiced by Mark Ryan is funny as fuck. Like, Ro is young, right? But he has that kind of... Yeah, dude, that's why I didn't mind the voice change in The Last Knight, because I like Mark Ryan, and I don't mind that voice itself, but I didn't really care for that as Bumblebee's voice. Tyler says, I call her Shadow Maker. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's see. Still, Bayverse Optimus is one of the strongest Transformers, and Lockdown held his own against him for a decent amount of time. I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. Like, do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that Lockdown is like weak or anything. I do think he is a little overhyped by the fan base, though, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see. Eric M says, at Talon Productions, I saw a lot of people saying that the Cybertronians in Transformers 1 are bigger than the Bayverse Cybertronians. I didn't find any source which confirmed this. I have seen that, and if I remember correctly, that is true. Like one Optimus and Megatron, by the time they at the end of the movie, are the size of like Bayverse Megatron. I can't remember where I've seen that, but that is supposed to be the case. Jahoob the Great says Dylan is a good villain, or a good human villain as well. Yeah, I agree. I do like Dylan in Dark of the Moon. I like Patrick Dempsey a lot. See, J. Ross, why didn't Revenge of the Fallen use the 07 RC design? That would have been cool. Granted, I do love the motorcycle mermaid design that is the Revenge of the Fallen design. So, like, yeah. I do like both though, but that '07 design is pretty cool. Oh man, I really hope I'm pronouncing this right. Please don't hurt me. Ming Fans Hang says hello. Hello, I'm glad you're here. Jay Ross, from what I heard, TF1 Optimus is the same height as IDW, or at least a little small. Because IDW Prime's like 40 feet tall or something. Like, he's gigantic. Eno says, do you think they could have kept Megatron's cannibalism in the movies? I think it would have added an extra fear factor to him. I've kind of debated myself with that, because part of me kind of likes the idea. But then there's also, like, I know, people argue, why do Transformers have mouths? They're robots, blah, blah, blah. But, like, there's also something where, like, I kind of don't like Transformers eating stuff, except for, like, Unicron, I guess. But, like, I don't know, but it definitely would have added a fear factor to him, especially, like, could you imagine if he would have ripped Jazz apart and then started digging through his body, found the spark, and just, chowed down? That would have been freaking wild. So it's an idea, a concept that I am not necessarily against, but, like, I'm also not mad that it didn't happen. I just thought about this. I had some blast effects here. Is this blast effects compatible? It is. That's kind of cool. I don't know if Optimus's gun would shoot purple, but hey, that's pretty cool. To quote the Joker from the Dark Knight, I like that. Jay Ross, you gotta go. Have a good rest of the day. I'm glad you could join. Thank you. See, Rito says, at Talon Productions, I have a Bayverse fanfiction where it leads off everything from Age of Extinction with Scourge being Lockdown's brother and declaring revenge at the prime of Bumblebee fighting Cyclonus. Interesting. I kind of like that. One day, I kind of wouldn't mind doing my own version of like a, like doing like a proper, quote-unquote, proper follow-up to Age of Extinction. It's like a fan fiction thing. Damn, I kind of bumped the tripod there. I'm sorry, guys. But who knows? I really hate just the wasted potential of a lot of the stuff that Age of Extinction set up, and just how the last night just did not care to go through with any of it. Again, you had the creator, you kind of had the creator stuff, but it's just like, bro, Lockdown, and everyone said creators multiple times, and then it's just one. That bothers the fuck out of me. Or again, there's the other thing of Lockdown being like, I've collected all the knights, but you. It's like, bro, the 12 most important ones are under the ocean. What were you doing? Can this... this thing's kind of a pain. Alright. There we go. Can't remember exactly how this goes. I've only transformed this guy once. Well, I guess technically twice. Mikey DLX asks, well, first, hey, it says, have I seen TFI creation stuff? I have. I haven't seen every single thing that they've done, but I did watch most of the recent video, Age of Reason. I didn't get to finish it all because I was watching it late Friday night, and I quickly had a, damn, I need to get to bed, so I haven't finished that one. But I really like the one they did with like the history of the Fallen and the Primes, and it was very heavily based off of the stuff in the IDW comics. I think that video was super good. And also, wasn't it called like Finest Hour or something, where it was like a Last Night sequel? I thought that one was pretty good too. So yeah, I've seen a good bit of their stuff, and it's pretty solid. I need to finish Age of Reason at some point, even though two of my good friends in the server both said they didn't really care for it. And oh yeah, he recently did Age of Reason based on Dark of the Moon's original ending and how Age of Extinction is affected. Yeah, I still need to finish that one because spoiler alert, like I watched all the way to the point of like them being kicked out by Nest or something like that. I forget exactly how that was going, but I definitely need to check that out. Hog Channel TFP RC was my crush when I was a kid, bro. I feel you. That's all. That's all I can really say. Eric M says I like Override a lot. Oh, like from Cybertron? Yeah, she's cool. I'll be real. I don't have much of an opinion on her, like one way or the other. But yeah, she's cool. Mikey says his last night's sequel is called Finest Hour. Yeah, that was fun. That was it. Okay. Lockdown's AOE Shadow Raider says Lockdown's crew from Age of Extinction honestly should appear more media. Lockdown Shadow Raiders still drawn those stupid drones. I'd be down for it. I thought the Shadow Raiders were kind of neat, despite them not really doing anything, but I don't know. They were neat. Eric M at Talon Productions. My favorite Transformers stop motion series are Hereafter and War of the Matrix. I don't really watch a whole lot of people's stop motion stuff, so I am not familiar with those. But hey, that's cool that you like them. Sorry, guys. Oh, I always forget that because that has to go. Yeah. Okay. I sounded like the. Or I sounded similar to the Peach meeting, or Peach, not guy, the Peach meeting. Jesus Christ, the pitch meeting guy for a second. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of something. Well, here's a quick question. I'll go ahead and tell you guys I am making a video on this. But here's a question that I wouldn't mind seeing your answers in the chat for. Do you guys think that the novel, and I guess the comic adaptation, but it's not nearly in as much detail, but the novel and comic adaptation of Dark of the Moon, do you guys think that is the superior ending, like a lot of people claim it is? Hob Channel says sometimes TFP RC was seriously overpowered. The way she beat up Breakdown, the episode about Bulkhead riding the synthetic energon form into his head was just laughable. Yeah, she definitely was overpowered sometimes. Damn, I'm having one of those moments with this guy. Don't judge me, you guys. There we go. That should be it. There we go. Cool. Very cool. Love Gun says nope. Eric M, no, it is even worse than the ending of Predacons Rising. Damn, you don't like the ending of Predacons Rising? I definitely have my issues with that movie, but I don't think it's bad or anything. It just cracks me up though, because I feel like the people that say that the Dark of the Moon novel ending and whatnot is better than what we got, it's just they don't like Optimus killing Megatron. They don't like him killing Megatron and don't like him killing Sentinel in that way. Because like, if if that was what came out, I guarantee you we would have people um, complaining how Megatron's turn was so sudden and how it doesn't make sense for him to go that way. Because my thing is, if I remember right, the novel had a lot of like introspective thoughts from Megatron and whatnot. And the thing is, we just would not have gotten that in the movie. Um, and give me a second. This part's kind of annoying. You know, I really think it would have been a case of people like, you know, it doesn't make sense for Megatron to turn like that. Which, if I'm being honest too, I would agree with. You know, if they were able to add in a bit more depth and stuff that was in the novel and the comic, and showing a bit more of Megatron's regret and whatnot at this point, maybe. But I just feel like that doesn't really fit Bayverse Megatron. You know, I think it fit way better within the portrayal and the story within the movie of, you know, him being kind of past his prime, you know, pun slightly intended, and, you know, realizes it, you know, goes in to fix it, and then tries one last bid to take back said power, you know? I think that also does a good job of playing into Megatron's hubris as a character, and just all of that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you know, all of the stuff you heard here is essentially going to be in the video that I do at some point. If I am able to work it out, that will probably be December's like discussion video, is why the Dark of the Moon ending is, or the novel ending is not better than the movies. Because I did a poll in my Discord server back in mid to late September. I don't know. And I listed 3 videos. And I was like, guys, these are going to be the next 3 videos, but how you guys vote determines when, you know, when they come out, what you see first, blah blah blah. And the one people voted on the most was the, like, you know, what Bayverse concept characters I'd like to see in studio series. Then the upcoming one, why are Transformers fans so adverse to change, or averse to change, will be second. And then the Dark of the Moon one will be third. Sorry that I keep pulling away from the cameras, you guys. It's just this guy's definitely got some bits in transformation. I'm like, I need him closer. If only this could go get plugged in correctly. Damn. There we go. Took a bit more pressing than I would have liked, but oh yeah. I will give the heads up to you guys too, because we just hit 4:31, so it's been what, 2 hours, about 2 hours. I will probably be getting off of here in a bit, not like in, you know, a minute from now, 5 minutes from now, blah blah blah. But you know, here soon, I will be getting off of here. Yeah, come on. There we go. Very cool. I still gotta answer stuff that's been, I'm sure, popping up. All right. Eric M says Predacons Rising is the only Transformers movie I don't like. Damn. Okay. Hop Channel says I don't know. But I assume this is reference to Dark of the Moon. It might work if the entire movie was dedicated to Megatron's redemption. Yeah. Mikey says I felt they kind of rushed through the redemption arc. Prime and the others let him go too easily. Yeah. R.I.D. He didn't even appear. Yeah. Yeah, I am with you, Hob Channel. Those two things of Megatron just don't seem to fit together. See, Knockout and Predacons Rising was pretty damn unconvincing about his defection to the Autobots. That's fair. I feel like at that point, though, it's just like you kind of got to take the help that you can get. But I do feel like he was genuine by the end, especially with his, in my opinion, kind of cute little line of just, well, I never really had the best role models. I kind of like that. Here's this guy's truck mode. This guy fixes the main thing people had an issue with, which were the cat ears, what people called cat ears in robot or truck mode. You could still do it because all they really did was add the simple thing of a hinge, so you can fold them down. I never actually minded these on the official one, but he still got not the best truck bed, but I don't know. I can't bring myself to care, if I'm being honest. To me, especially with kind of the sculpted trailer hitch in here, it doesn't look like super obvious robot parts, I guess. I don't know. I think it's fine. Only thing that's not great is how, you stored the, wait, hold on here, you guys. He does have lights and stuff in here. Well, why wasn't this working? Uh-oh. You know what? I might have to, replace these. Because you know what? Yeah, I had to replace the lights and stuff that were in the head. Or replace the batteries for the lights in the head. So, let me... I can't do that right now, though, because the way I have my tripod position, it's going to block out the drawer that I got my batteries in. So, I will keep that stuff out, I guess, and do this later. But hey, good to know. I was like, that looks like it has a light in it. And then this piece started to move, so I was like, hold on a second. Hey, so you guys were just here while I made a discovery. Man, we've made a discovery. Archibald Wiki, 2007. Or Archibald Wiki, whatever year he discovered Megatron. Was it 1897? There we go. There it is. Bam. So yeah, I'll put batteries there at some point. That's cool though. I'm glad that off topic is the 20th anniversary of the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes, dude, I love that game. I played that so much as a kid. I loved it. Hey, Unc. Oh, hey! It's Lance. What's up? How you doing? Scourgemus, hi, Talon. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. See, Hob Channel, there was definitely a character arc planned for Breakdown, but things went awry during production of Season 2. Yeah, Hob, if I remember correctly, that's because they knew Prime was going to end part way through Season 2. So they had to start kind of axing stuff early. So part of that's why Breakdown was killed. In addition to the fact that his voice actor, it's one of the bald ones, I don't remember his first name. But he was expensive. That's why stuff like damn, sorry about the cough. Was it Adam Baldwin? I can't remember which one. But get some water real quick. Sorry, you guys. Hey guys, that's part of why Breakdown was killed off. That's why the mech and Silas breakdown stuff was over so quick. That's why Arachnid just got kind of locked inside of a thing, and then she was wrapped up so quickly in season 3. Not to mention again because her voice actor is expensive. Scourgeman says hi again. Hello. But yeah. Also, this Optimus has rubber tires. That's always kind of cool to see whenever they do it. Yeah, I like this guy though. Again, I always enjoyed the NPM-12. It just wasn't necessarily a masterpiece. It was more so just like a decent leader class figure. But I do think the fixes and stuff that this one does are pretty good. Oh, man. Well, you guys, like I said, I'll definitely be hopping off of here just a bit. So I would say if anyone has anything else they would like to say or ask me or anything like that, please, go ahead and do that here in the next couple minutes, because I will probably be getting off of here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Damn, JMI filmmaker, I'm sorry, because I was literally just talking about how, hey, we're going to be wrapping it up here soon in the next 5 to 10 minutes, so if you have anything to say or ask, please do it now. I'm sorry. At Talon Productions, did you watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes? I have not watched it. I have seen various clips, especially because I think that's the one where a lot of people like Doctor Doom in it, if I remember correctly. So I've seen bits and pieces here and there, but I've never sat down and watched an episode, And hey, just because I like it a lot, you guys get to check out Galvatron again. Well, he's gonna get you. Hell, does anyone remember the Age of Extinction promotional thing? Where it's got Galvatron's face and it says he's watching you or something like that? Damn, Rise of the Beast is bad and Ron Perlman couldn't even save it. I do think he's pretty good in that movie. I'm glad he got a second chance at Optimus Primal after the just fucking abysmal Machinima shows. Because he was in, Power of the Primes? Yeah, dude, this Galvatron. Heck, I might bring my phone down and kind of do some showcases, I guess you could say. Sorry for blocking the camera with... Here we go, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, he's super good. Oh no! My battery's gonna die here in a bit. Hell, in that case, I probably should go ahead and hit it if I'm being completely honest. Because I would hate for this thing to die right in the middle of recording. Let me see. There's a Prime Bumblebee. He's pretty cool. He does look great. Very accurate. It's just stuff like the wheels and the feet and whatnot. I like him a lot. He's pretty good. Let's see here. Hot Challenge saying, he's so detailed. Yeah, he is. It came with this little neck piece too to help fill in the gap. I'm pretty sure this would have to come off for transformation, but it just helps add just a lot of details and stuff. And just man, it's so good, dude. I love it, love it. The magnet chase definitely isn't bad. I don't mind it. Damn, saying Danny says that lockdown deserved the fallen treatment. Jeez, fair, but jeez. But let's see here. Who knows what the the black hole in Cybertron would have done? Oh, Eric, you didn't have to post it a few times, but yeah. Who knows? But if you guys don't have too much more to add, I think I will indeed go ahead and wrap up this stream. There's some Yellow Park Megatron for you. And again, just continuing to focus on the Galvatron. He's so good. Getting a lot of little paint details I kind of added. Not all of this is me, just some of it. Like I know, like this, like the darker colors here, I did it here. You know, like the gold lines in here, little darker squares. I tried to base it off of screenshots and stuff from the, I believe the Prime 1 Studio statue. Our worlds are in danger. Dude, Eric M., I love the Cybertron theme. It's so good. Or just the opening in general. But, let's see. Yeah, you guys, that'll do it. I know this hasn't been the most exciting stream in the world, but, you know, I just figured just sort of a hangout and chill would be kind of cool, especially since it's been about a month since the last time I did a stream. They probably will continue to be on Sundays, whenever I do get around to doing them. So, you know, if I'm free on a Sunday and I have a spare, you know, couple hours, I will do these. You know, very glad to kind of have the, you know, usual crowd show up for these. It's always nice. I always have a good time doing these. It's fun just to be able to genuinely hang out with you guys. But yeah, that will probably do it. Not too much more to say here, I guess. It has been fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me. And yeah, thanks you guys again, and we will stream again soon. Love you guys. Bye.